Hey folks, so I have just arrived and I thought that I would give you a tour today of my truck cabin camper build. Show you around, show you how I do things and how I adventure, and yeah, just my own get up. So I hope you enjoy it. If you do like this video, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe. I've got a lot of other things that'll be coming out here shortly, and I'd love for you to be along for the ride. Cheers, and I hope you enjoy. So this is my truck cabin camper. I love adventuring in it, and as you see here on the back side, I have these doors. It was really important to me when I was thinking about building a cabin camper in the back of my truck. I wanted to feel safe on the inside. I did a lot of research and I listened to a lot of people who also camp in the back of their truck. And one of the issues was that they didn't feel super safe and they weren't able to lock anything up from the inside. And so I knew as a woman, but also as maybe a solo traveler, or just like even if I wasn't alone, just knowing that I had the ability to lock myself from the inside and create a little bit more of a safety barrier for myself, that was really important. So that's why I put the doors on the outside here. So a little bit more about my door setup here. It was really important to me to be able to lock this up when I'm not using it. You know, if I was going to keep any valuables in there, if I was hiking for the day or just out doing whatever, I'd like to know that my valuables are being kept safe, and you know, I just wouldn't have people or even animals trying to get in, right? Depending on where we're at and we're hanging at, we could have all sorts of little wild animals trying to get inside. So I wanted to be able to lock it. So it actually does have a key lock down here that clearly I can put the key in, I can unlock it. And then also it has this little T-lock here that is not lockable, but it just helps keep everything secure. If you can't open this door up, you also can't open this door up here. So I've got this little handle here. This whole piece, as you'll see when I open it, is one door, and then I've got a Dutch door right here. So this piece up here opens up. This can stay shut, or this can open up as well, and the top can stay shut, which is really important if you're building something and you have an outside kitchen. If you want to keep the smell and the smoke and that sort of thing from going inside of your cabin, making a Dutch door is really important. I wanted something that felt like home when I was away from home and when I was on the road or camping or whatever it was that I was doing while adventuring in the truck. And for me, when I think of cozy, when I think of home and a space that just feels really good to relax, I think of cabins. And so I really wanted to create an experience for myself that felt like living in a cabin. And so that is exactly what I did. So this cabin camper itself is, these are cedar planks here, cedar tongue and groove on the outside here, cedar shakes, and then cedar tongue and groove on the inside. I chose cedar for a couple of reasons. It was either between pine or cedar, and I really like the idea of cedar, one, because it typically is really good for fighting against mold and other, you know, mildew and things like that that can really wreak havoc on a build like this. But also cedar, when I was doing my research, it seemed like what I found was cedar actually has a little bit more flex in it than pine does. So when this truck is going down the road and has constant vibrations, the cedar is actually able to absorb that even better than the pine. So I love that. I also just love the smell of cedar. So why not go for cedar? So that was great. And I built this. This actually is a little flower, like, I don't know, flower box, I think is what you would call it. It comes on and off. So I actually don't drive with this in the back because I can't actually put up my tailgate, but I take this right off. It's just really easy as I struggle with it. Oh, see, there you go. So I take it right off. It's connected just by these little fasteners here, and I've got two screws here that go on it, just like that. And my original thought was you know, part of what I wanted for this cabin is I wanted to be able to look at it and say, I think that looks great. Like aesthetically, it's very pleasing to me, pleasing to my eye, and it feels very beautiful for me, which is something that I like to do in all of my builds and all of the projects that I do. And that's important for me. So I wanted to put something a little special here. Um, and so I put this here, but I realized I can't, like I said, I can't drive with it because I can't put my tailgate up. So the original thought was put flowers in it or something really cute like that. It has actually become even more functional for me. So this ends up being right over the kitchen. And so when I'm cooking, I might put my spices in it or napkins or just anything that I want to have within arm's reach very easily. I just end up using this as a shelf for that. So it worked out well. Maybe one day I'll put flowers in it or something, but it is what it is now. So I call this my garage. I really wanted a space that I could just kind of throw my all of my outside stuff, but still keep it somewhat organized. So this right here, I had this little space here. It's a little drawer, and I call it the garage, and it opens up just like so. And right in through here is where I keep my step stool. I set this up actually to put this to get into the truck. So I'll go ahead and actually do that. Put it on the ground. This also holds any other stuff that's helpful for me to have close by. So I've got an axe here. I have a nice rug that I like to put out so that I can, you know, get the dirt off my feet before I go into the truck. I've got another tarp back there, and a lot of times I'll put like bungee stuff or any kind of, you know, starting the fire with, or my fire gloves or whatnot. I'll put back here. If anything is muddy or wet or anything, I can shove it back there. And it goes about, well, it really runs the length of the truck, other than for the bump where the tire is. So it's a really cool little space that I have. Again, I call this my garage, and it holds all of my extra stuff. One of the things that I find is really, really helpful is my outdoor space of the cabin here. And part of that is the hitch setup that I have that's really helpful for me because I'm able to fit a lot of extra stuff in these boxes here, especially if I'm doing off-road or anything like that. I can put all sorts of gear that I need in these boxes. So I have a swivel hitch, and it's from Kuat, and it was one of the best purchases that I made for this truck. So if you're looking for something to be able to carry more gear but also not get in the way of your setup, this Kuat swivel hitch is really wonderful, and let me show you exactly what I'm talking about and how it works. So there's a little latch on the inside of the hitch that I am going to press, and it's going to open up to a 90-degree angle, and then I'm going to press it again and it'll open even further. So check this out. All right. That's sweet. So check that out. It's like it's there, but it's not anywhere in the way of my camper, which is fantastic. But I'll show you how I actually utilize these boxes here to help me create an even bigger kitchen when I am cooking. So for my kitchen, I'm able to just open this door down here and keep both of these doors shut. So the thing about that is the smell and the smoke from my cooking does not go into my cabin. That's a great thing about the reason why I wanted to create a Dutch door situation here, so I can have access simply to my kitchen and keep everything else in my cabin either smell-free, smoke-free, or even if I have heat going on in there, it can stay a little bit warmer without being open to the outside elements, or if it's raining or something like that. It's really great. So my kitchen is on it's a 5-foot drawer, pull-out drawer that I have, and these drawers have brakes on them as well, which is really great. So like if I'm on a hill, if I open that up, it's not just going to come out at me. I actually have to push these 2 little pins in to pull them out. On the end of it, I've created a place that's just extra countertop, and or it's a cutting board space for myself as well. And then I'll also show you on top, I have a 4-foot pull-out drawer that I use a lot for my pantry and other things as well. right, so this is my kitchen setup. As you can see here, I have the countertop that a lot of times I'll put a cutting board on. I have my space for my stove here. So this gets set up just like so, which is really wonderful. And then I also have space right back here that I've created. Typically I'll keep my pots and pans, my plates, my cups. I've got right in here, if you can see this, I've actually been able to put my spatulas here. I actually drilled 2 holes in either side so that they just stay put here for me. And I also have a magnet bar that I've put spices against or knives or anything else, which is really great. So this is just, it's a well that I'm able to keep all of my cooking supplies in when I have my kitchen open. It's right there. I mentioned earlier about how I have what was originally a flower box, and I tend to use this when I'm cooking. I'll put hand wipes up here or other things as well. So you can see how close in proximity it is when I'm actually cooking here on the campfire. So in addition to this kitchen setup here, where I can cook and do everything that I need to, on the other side, and one of the things that I love so much is, let me just turn the camera here so you can see it. It really creates kind of this horseshoe. So there's my kitchen. I have more counter space right there on the end of the tailgate. And then I'm also able to use this space here to do lots of stuff and cooking as well. So I have actually put cutting boards over here. A lot of times I'll set it up where I have my water situation, so I'm able to wash my hands if need be, or do my cleaning, my dish cleaning over here, more cutting here, cooking here, serving, or more cooking, or whatever that is. It's a fantastic setup. Every camper needs a bottle opener on the outside, I think. Now I'm ready to go. That's my setup. It's pretty quick, pretty simple, pretty easy. Love it.